Yeah.
So where do we begin today? Wow.
Yep. Indeed. It's constant.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna just start it with, this is probably the biggest community or collective energy event, possibly of our lifetimes, and probably of the at least in the last in my lifetime so far. I mean, yes, we've come through the Great Conjunction. We made it through the harmonic convergence, both of which had wonderful energies. They don't compare to this one. This one, the portal is open for an entire, at least 2 weeks, and probably longer than that. So,
Yeah.
like you said, it's just huge. If you can't feel it, you got your head in the sand.
Yeah. And I think for some people it won't be like it won't be the visions, it won't be but it'll be changes in behavior. It'll be differences from others. It'll be things falling away when they're like, "Oh, I was really hoping for that." Or, things coming at you and you're like, "Woohoo!" It doesn't need to be us sitting in the forest and meditating and having these things come to us. It's almost
Oh yeah,
palpable stuff. It's physical. Yeah.
it's happening all around us, and it part of it is koyaanisqatsi, which means life out of balance, which is being balanced.
Right.
And this is where we need to keep ourselves balanced. But there's so much more to it than that. There's uh, letting go, and this is from a visceral the practice that has been coming to me in these 2 weeks is going in and cleaning out each individual cell of my body, cleaning it, I mean scrubbing it, um, and allowing it to have the freedom to bring in new energy. And I mean, cells go into parts, go into, organs, go into systems. The whole thing is just, and when you do this, after you do this, you feel so light. And that's what it's all about. I mean, getting rid of the BS, the belief systems,
Yeah.
getting rid of the very heavy LBS, the limiting belief systems that we have, and just lightening up our energy to joy and bliss and what can be, and seeing, not necessarily seeing, I want a fancy car and I want a big house and I want, no, what kind of a life do you want to live? What kind of a lifestyle do you want for your children, for your children's children, for 6 and 7 generations beyond?
Yep.
What do you want them to remember about this time?
Yep.
We are the heroes of this time, and they will remember that this way, as depending well, I think we are going to make the right decisions, and they will see us as the heroes that made their lifestyles possible.
Very cool.
How can it get bigger than that?
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes with responsibility become like comes a lot of fatigue. And so like you said that even though balance it isn't everybody's favorite word, it's that connectivity, remembering that you're not doing it alone, right? And
Yeah, this
so
this is very collective,
yeah,
very collective.
yes, yes. So even if you feel like more responsibility or is being put on you or all of those egoistic, that's maybe a new word that I created just now, but I do that often. It's that sense of, oh yeah, okay, so let's just breathe, pause, and practice remembering that it's part of the beautiful web that I'm living in and here for and learning from. It's just so cool.
And that I get to participate in.
Yes. Yes. And
We won the lottery by being here now,
yeah.
whether we realize that or not.
Yeah. And reminding others around us, even with the tiny seeds that they need in the moment because they're at a different layer of understanding it all, right? It's planting those beautiful seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, cool, cool.
And part of it is about choosing to allow, I'm going to use those words carefully, to participate in the energy that's out there right now. And it's huge. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah. Yep. So, so what so you talked about the 2 weeks. Are you talking about the 2 weeks around the 8th? So this week and next week, or between the two eclipses? What were you meaning there?
Well, it actually started um, before the first eclipse. It started on the equinox, is when the portal cracked open,
Right?
just started cracking open, and but most of us felt it even then. And then comes the first eclipse, and everything goes whop. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Now we're coming up to this next one, and the next one is by far the largest of all of them. But the portal will stay open for some time after that. And this is giving us the room, the time, the ability to choose, to make the differences that need to be made. Like I said, it's changing on a cellular level, on a DNA level, and it's changing everything and
Yeah.
rebalancing much. So we're going to see huge changes coming because, well, not because of, but from all of this energy.
Yeah.
This is going to be where all of that doesn't serve is going to get to be re-examined, and we're going to get to know if we want to change it, keep it, or let it go. Again, most of this goes along with all of those personal BS and LBS that we're doing so much work with anyway, and continue to do work with. But this is actually happening on a collective scale too. Collectively, we have all of this LBS and BS that we've got to deal with
Yep.
too.
Yep.
So it's, I mean, to me, it's just huge, and the energy is just palpable. And sometimes it comes in little waves. Okay, big waves.
Yeah.
Uh,
Got that right. Yes. Oh my goodness.
and a lot of it, when it comes in the big waves and you feel it so strongly, is about realizing this is not all mine.
Mm.
This is the collective. And how can I support the collective through this particular wave?
Yes. Just that piece, I just like to pause on that piece of it's not all mine, right? Or it's not, some of it might not even, it might all be not yours, if that makes any sense. And and for most of my life, I've felt it all. And so I've had to learn how to ask, is this mine? Right? Or then whatever answer I get, it's okay, how do I help? How do I serve? How can I hold the energy or share the energy or whatever it is?
And support the collective in
Exactly.
this.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So cool.
And so much.
And
And so it's amazing. And at the same time, it can be, as you said, overwhelming
yeah.
at times.
Yeah.
It's a lot. However, we all chose to be here at this moment in time
Yeah.
for this very reason, to experience this, to be part of it, to support it. And that's why we're here.
That's why we're here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Bringing in more oxygen in a way. right? I just took
Yes.
a breath and I was like, oh yeah, it's like bringing in more oxygen. We're actually becoming more aware of who we really are, which helps the collective, which helps that web of love and joy and bliss and the layers of who and what we can be.
And the Schumann resonance, or the Schumann frequency, some people call it. That's kind of the heartbeat of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And the breath has to go along with the heartbeat of the earth. And right now she's taking in a gigantic breath and letting it out.
Yes.
The gigantic breath in is the oxygen coming in, and you can all feel that. Just feel it. You are a cell in that very large body. The
Yeah.
oxygen is coming in to give us the power, the resources necessary to clean out each cell and then release what doesn't serve in the out breath. And that's what is about to come.
So cool. Again, I keep getting these images when you're talking because I was at the wharf this morning down at our lake and our water is so low because we've had such hot seasons, like summer seasons, and lots of forest fires around here. And there is there is no water on one side of our wharf, and then it's obviously been dredged a little bit deeper on the other side for the boat launch. I have never seen it that low. And I know it happens. Like my family's been here a long time. I know it happens, but that ebb and the flow, like it just, it's almost like she's, like you said, breathing in. And so I envision all the water getting less because she's breathing in and then she's going to breathe out and it's all going to, you know, end up settling where it's supposed to settle.
And clean what it's supposed to clean.
Yeah.
Just like we said, Koyaanisqatsi,
Yeah.
getting back into balance, which whether it's on a micro level or a macro level right now, you can't help but see that the world is out of balance.
Yeah. 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 Yep. For sure. For sure.
And of course, some of us realize, maybe all of us, I don't know, that this has been predicted for thousands of years from cultures all over the world. This would be the time when things would happen.
Yeah.
And this is, we let it get very out of balance, and this is exactly what's happening.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Interesting. So what else like have you heard from the wisdom keepers? Like how or yourself, just other things that you intuit. What do we do? How do we do this?
The biggest thing that they keep telling me, is do what you need to for yourself as an individual self, understanding, of course, that you are part of a much larger whole. So get rid of all of that stuff, clean it out. You'll feel amazing afterwards. And like I said, I just go in okay, first of all, I'm going to send the love into each and every cell that needs to be there. And then I see the scrubbing of each individual cell, scrubbing it, especially at its DNA, to get rid of everything that we have held, because that's where we hold all of the stuff we don't need, all of the stuff we can't handle, all of the stuff that's unpleasant that we don't want to see. We go in and we scrub it, scrub it out. Then drink a lot of water. Okay, clean it out, wash it out, get it all gone away.
Yep.
And then allow yourself to have the love come in, the bliss come in, to rejuvenate and help those cells.
Yep.
Consider yourself, and this is not something that came to me personally, but it came into my field. Consider yourself, your mind, your person that you are, your inner self, whatever, uh, as the manager of a very large company, and every cell in your body is part of that company. Have a company meeting. Do it regularly.
Yeah.
Talk to the cells. What do they need? Help them clean. Help them get to be the very best and strongest that they can be, so that you can have the most functioning company within this larger collective that
Yeah.
you can. And that's been very helpful for me to have these meetings. uh, Mostly now my meetings are, okay, let's see what else we can clean out. Let's
Yeah.
see who needs cleaning, what needs cleaning. Let's clean it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we all do it together as a good boss would. It's
Nice.
not like, okay, go do it if you're on your own. No,
Yeah.
this is you part of it too.
Yeah.
This is you getting down in the trenches, getting down there and helping scrub out all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
looking at it. What is it? Why is it there?
Yeah.
You can even thank it for having been there for whatever reason it happened to be there,
Yeah.
and then let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Let it go. Indeed.
Get rid of everything, all the LBS and the BS that doesn't need to be there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I just, so many people say, well, it's very difficult to let go. I don't even know what that means, da 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 da. And reinterpret it for yourself, right? Like reinvent what that means for yourself, because letting go might be, instead of doing things all the time, you can be in the moment, or you can not have the argument that you have been stewing about, or you can let the other person have the last donut in the house, or whatever it is. It's that um, flow state.
It's the flow state. But part of it, and is you we say let go, find what you don't need. How do I do that?
Right.
Okay, what aggravates you? What dis what makes you dis-eased? What is it that brings up the shackles on your back? And what is it that makes you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, that's where you start.
Yeah.
Why does it make you uncomfortable? And well, because that's what society said. Well, that's your LBS and your BS coming in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
think of this. Think of how your life would be if you didn't have that.
Oh, my shoulders just relaxed. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you do this as many times as you need to, over and over and over.
Yeah.
One of the things they were telling me earlier, a couple days ago, is, okay, so you did all the cleaning, yeah, and you let go of everything, yeah. Okay, now do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got to say that's what's happening too. Yeah.
Again and again and again. Think of it as a spiral, and each time you come around to it again, you're one level higher, but you're working to be many levels higher. So you go around and around and around, and you have probably a gazillion spirals going on inside of you at any one time. And you get to do this with each and every one of those. This is not a process that you can say, okay, I did it, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's not a 5-minute thing.
No. Yeah.
This is a continual thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
And this right now is the perfect time to do it. The more you can get rid of, the more you can let go of, the more free you can be in yourself. Not free as in, oh, I can go out and do anything I want to. No, this is free within yourself, free from the bounds, from the strings, the ties, the binds, the chains, whatever's holding you back. This is the time when you can feel those and let them go. They don't need to be there anymore. And then you can see, you can imagine how free your life, your energy will be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And breathe in and breathe out.
And it's really that simple. Breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah, I was thinking about how you said it's not a 5 minute thing. And if we did 5 minutes of conscious awareness, thought, breathing, meditation, writing, dancing, walking, 5 minutes more, or just 5 minutes every day, then that's bringing in the flow because you're practicing or you're allowing that shift, right?
And the more you do that, the more it becomes a habit in your life. You know, I do it all day, throughout the day, constantly.
Yeah, and well, it
I
can
can walk out in the yard and do it.
yeah, for sure. And it can get more and more like you're very well practiced. You are aware and you've gifted yourself the time and the effort and you've put in a lot of work, right?
And that's when you start really feeling the freedom that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So even if you have many moments during your day, that all accumulates within that cellular structure as you keep going with it. It's just like any habit, right? But this includes a remembering.
And you know, we all breathe.
Yeah.
You can make that breath count in any time. Maybe you're in a stressful situation at work. You're going to have to breathe.
Yeah.
You can't stop.
Yeah.
You might as well breathe and make it okay. I'm going to let that go. Okay. Or you can do it in the middle of the grocery store, or you can do it when you're driving without even closing your eyes, so you don't have to miss anything.
Yeah.
You can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
Uh, I have one friend that does it at stoplights and green lights.
Nice. Awesome.
Okay, that's pretty much everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Pick what fits in your life.
Big changes start with very small changes.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Just like learning how to walk, whether you're a child or after an accident or whatever it is, it's baby steps, those mini steps, mini moments. Yeah. And they
Indeed, it
do
is.
make a big difference. Yeah. So,
That's what actually life is all about, is the little stuff.
yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. I've been reading a Canadian author, an artist. Her name's Emily Carr, and I have this very deep spiritual connection to her. I haven't been gifted the why, but almost my whole life I've had this connection with her. I've lived in the same city she did and all this kind of stuff. And as an author, she said one of her two rules was use a small word, even if a big word would fit, right?
Yeah.
And that's like what we're talking about. All of that is a beautiful reminder that it doesn't have to be difficult. We can make it simple.
And also a reminder, as you and I have talked about so many times, of the power of words.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
And also the moving on from language, spoken language, to different forms of language.
Yes.
And I love this example because it's so true. And if we did this, if we thought about this all the time, our world would be a much better place. If we understood, knew, we'll go with knew, that everyone around us was hearing, feeling, and being impacted by every thought we had, as well as every word we spoke. how much more careful would we be with how we experience the world?
Yep,
Because it's actually true.
it is true. I was just gonna say, I have been clairsentient all my life, and I'm only now, as more of a grown up, uh, learning what it is, learning that it had a name, like this feeling always that I've had. And I've had more and more videos come at me when I have these mini moments of being able to be on social media. I have interesting things come, and uh, our senses are so much more, but they're also very deceptive. And I know this is not a new concept where our eyes can deceive us, our hearing, all this type of stuff can be a block to what the true thing is, whatever that honest feeling is underneath all of it. And my eyesight has been very poor my whole life. It's not been a struggle. It's something that I have welcomed and honored that this is physically what it is in my life. And more as I grow in my spirituality and I take my glasses off, I feel and see so much deeper. And so, just like you're saying, if we could feel people more, we would know more. And that's why sometimes when I'm with Scott and Sky, I'm like, oh, that person's really sad. And they're like, what are you going to do about it? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to stand next to them and give them loving energy. Like, it's just these things where my family has accepted me for who I am, but I also am now feeling comfortable to voice these things with words because of the feelings. And I know you're very much the same with holding space for people, and more of us are being like this, and it's so exciting when we actually find each other and we're like, yay, hey, how's it going? I feel you, you feel me, this is exciting. So yay. And portal opening awareness, all of it is these pieces, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the eyesight goes, I, I at one point in time I had much better eyesight than I do now, and um, I've asked, well, can I get that back? How can I get that back? How can I, get what I had back in my much younger days? Well,
Right.
okay, somewhat younger days, um, and they're like, do you not realize that you see better now than you did then?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I'll take that because yes, it's true. I do. I mean, even what I didn't realize what they were saying, the thought leaders, the whatever you want to call them, but you get to a certain point and you look out at the same thing that you've seen for years and years and years, and yet it looks so much more vibrant. The colors are so much more alive. They're so, the trees are still green,
Yeah.
but wow, they're so magnificently green.
Yes.
And the flowers are so much more beautiful. And
Yeah.
so it's, there is the, what we want, what we think we want, what we are taught that we should want, and what is real and what we really can benefit most from, maybe two very different things.
Mm. Indeed. Indeed. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know why, but it's coming at me where it's like we don't need psychotropic drugs to see those vibrant colors. Let's just put a caveat in there, right?
I see them all the time and I have no substances at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Exactly. Just the nurturing the nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not knocking. I mean, they're doing a lot of research on the psychedelic mushrooms right now, and
Exactly.
wonderful,
Yeah.
fantastic. If it helps, wonderful.
Yes.
Um, I don't need them. I've never needed them.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, if that works for you, wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, no, yeah, absolutely. Just it was it's another tool. It's another beautiful piece of us waking up. Maybe that's the wrong way of saying it, but becoming, remembering, becoming
Yeah.
our true selves again. And yeah, so
Most of us go through a lot of our lives looking at everything that's out there, and maybe we realize it's the color green, or maybe we don't. But it's all pretty much gray in our field until we open it up and allow in the energy of beauty of what really is, and
yeah,
then it's just fantastic.
yes, it is. Oh, another breath. I just love this. Oxygen. Thank you. This is so cool.
And thank you for being here with me.
Mm. Always. It's always a pleasure.